Hi guys, I'm Chung. Today I'm gonna talk about setting up your local computing environment virtual machine. So, previously you may have heard of the concept of virtual machine. You will come across several kind of virtual machine like VirtualBox or VMware, some kind of that like that, and it allows you to set up a graphic user interfaces to allow you to operate something on a different operating system. So, but today I'm going to talk about a different type of virtual machine. So, say you only wanted to, like macOS, it is restricted to only a limited set of command line. You cannot run apt-get on a macOS system, but it can do that on a Linux system, right? So if you want to say you want to run a very simple program or a very simple script on Linux, but you don't want to have something like a very heavy virtual machine and with graphical interfaces. So this is where a headless virtual machine comes to rescue. So today I'm gonna talk about that and show a little bit of demo of that, and let's get started. So I provided a simple link here. You can see this is a repo illustrating how to do that in a few steps. Um, so today we're going to use a tool called Baker. Baker allows you to set up a virtual machine, but it's only a virtual environment. You cannot see the you cannot see the graphical interfaces, but it allows you to um, run programs or set up a whole bunch of toolkit and workflows, which is synchronized to your host machines. Okay, so let's get started. To use Baker, you need to have VirtualBox on your system. If you don't have VirtualBox, go to its website and download it. And beside that, you also want to install Vagrant. Vagrant is something kind of provides a utility to synthesize folders between your host machine and the virtual machine. Also, it provides a set of utilities to like networks and something like that. Um, it, yeah. So, what about Baker? Baker is I think it's kind of a wrapper. It wraps up a set of configuration on top of Vagrant and VirtualBox. So let's get started. To get you some ideas of how to use the Baker. So open your command line interfaces, and in your repo, you will want to after you have Baker installed, which you can do through brew install, use homebrew using homebrew. So after that, you can run Baker setup, which sets up um, like install a Baker control machine and set up a local environment of Baker. So after that, you also want to install a repo, creating a VM with Baker. This environment is hosted on GitHub, so we're gonna just directly copy and paste it. So oh, yeah, we're gonna redo that. So after redoing the Baker setup command, to make sure you have already installed the Baker control machine in your local server, I need to do this command again. I don't know whether that happened previously because this is running successfully this time. You can see it's provisioning the VM in the VirtualBox. So if you open the VirtualBox manager, you can see there's a Baker manager, which is what you have set up using the Baker setup. And this Baker test is a local repository that allows you to do something to synchronize everything between the Baker server and your host server. Okay, so let's wait a little bit to for that to be finished. So after a few minutes, this all has been done already, and if you cd into the Baker repo, you can see there's a baker.yaml file. Let's see it. It's basically the configuration of how the server is going to be set up. So as you can see here, the start command is telling us that when the remote server, the virtual machine server is hosted, what he's gonna do, right? So it just changing to the directory of this application and do npm install all the dependencies and do the node index.js, which is gonna set up a remote server. So if we and it also illustrates the IP here. So if we go to this website, this path, and um, uh, specifying this port, we can see that there is a hide there application, and it is already telling us that the remote server, the virtual machine server, is running successfully. All right. So what else can we do here is also like we can do like Baker SSH Baker test. So as you can see here, is using the SSH protocol to connect to the Baker test repo, which is a virtual machine in the remote. Okay, so as you can see here is our Ubuntu 16.04.3 version, and after running this command, you're already running command in the Vagrant environment of the Ubuntu system. Okay, so as you can see, you can run apt-get, which is a package management command for a Linux system. You can do whatever you want with a remote machine. The good thing about that is you don't have to dive into the virtual box. You don't have to click it and make it show up to show the graphic user interfaces. You just do everything that you need in your host machine. All right. As you can see here, if you open the let's see, Baker test, when you open it, there's a deployment folder, which is exactly what is synchronized through the remote server. If you do something like this, like, hi there, my name is Chang, and you save it, and um, mm, let's see, maybe we should start it all over again, but never mind. It's gonna the basic idea is here that is the two folder, I mean the remote server, the virtual machine folder, and the local deployment folder is all synchronized together, so that you don't have to dive into the graphical user interfaces. All right, so this is a very helpful utility. Hopefully that's gonna be helpful for you too. Leave your comments below. Thank you.